Hi all, so today we'll see how to write polyfill for reduce method. Okay, so as usual, let's see what a reduce method does by taking array as an example of 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and let's have a result that will store the result out of a reduce method. Okay, so unlike map or filter method that we just discussed in the previous videos, the reduce method does not return array. Instead, reduce method returns a value, okay, single value. And that single value could be anything. For example, we are just returning the sum out of this constant array. The sum would be 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, that is 10. But the single element could be like an object also, so we can return an object like sum and the sum of the array, that is 10. So it could be like a JavaScript object also. Okay, so that single value could be anything. It depends on how we are implementing the callback of it. Okay, so first is it takes as callback. Now the first parameter of the callback will be accumulator. Let's write it as ACC. And of course the second argument will be the element itself. Okay. Now, sorry. So yeah, now the second argument that this reduce method takes is the initial value of that accumulator that we are going to return. For example, if we are going to return the sum out of it, so we can take this initial value as 0. We can, and if you want to return the single value as an object, so we can take either an empty object and let the implementation do its job, or let the initial value be sum, and the sum as the key and the value as 0. Okay, so let's write 0 here. Okay, and now we should be implementing how we want the callback should be, how exactly the callback should implement this to get the sum out of this array. Okay, so let's for every element we'll be just adding it to the accumulator, right? And we'll be just returning the accumulator. Okay, so let's just log it to the console and see what it prints. Save it, run it. Okay, so yeah, 10. So 1 plus 2 3, 3 3 6, 6 plus 4 is 10. So yeah, it is printing out the sum, and this is how reduce method works. So it takes and callback as a first argument, the initial value is the second argument. So let's write the requirement for reduce method. So it takes two argument. Okay, the first is the callback, and which takes two argument again as the accumulator. Okay, and the element of the array. Okay, and it returns okay, the second parameter is this is the parameter for the reduce method. Okay, not the callback method. So the second parameter that it takes is initial value. Okay, initial value of that accumulator, and what it returns is a single value. Okay, that could be anything, number, object, based on how we are implementing the logic and what is the initial value of the accumulator. Okay, so yeah, let's write our own implementation of reduce method as my reduce, and let it be a function which takes two argument. As we said, the first one is callback, okay, and the second one is the initial value. Okay, let's call initial value. Now let our array be this. Again, I have explained how to get a hold of the array by using this on a function. Again, not in an arrow function. So we have to define our own implementation as a function and not as an arrow function. So yeah, we have that array. Let store everything in our result. Okay, initial value, and again, since we have to iterate through all of the elements, so let's use the for let element uh, sorry of array. Okay, now our result, it should be something that will be returned by that callback function. Now that callback function will take two parameters. Okay, the first parameter is the accumulator. Here we are initializing value to result. Okay, although we can use the same value, there is no need of line number 20, or for the sake of simplicity, I'm just introducing a result variable. Okay, and the other will be element, and we are returning what? Result. This is how we will write uh, our own implementation of reduce method. Now we should be binding this myReduce method to array instance method through use of prototypes. Okay, we'll keep the name as myReduce. uh, myReduce. Okay, now what? Let's uh, take a new variable myReduce output, and let's store everything that we have done here. Okay, but we'll use myReduce method. Okay, so we are using myReduce. We are just passing a callback method with the two parameters as accumulator and the element of the array, and we are just initializing the value of accumulator with 0, and let's log it to the console as myReduce output. Okay, save it, run it, and yeah, see, we are getting 10 and 10 as a result. So basically what we did is we defined myReduce as our own implementation of reduce a method, now which takes two argument as a function, the callback function, which will be called for every element, and the initial value for the accumulator, the result that will be returned out of this myReduce method. Now for this array, the caller of myReduce, we can get a hold of that through the use of this, and we have taken a new variable just for the sake of simplicity as result, and we are storing the result value into the result variable. Okay, we are just iterating through every element of array. We are just storing the result in the result variable. Finally, after iterating through all of the elements, we are returning result. After implementing myReduce method, we should be binding myReduce method to arrays instance method through use of prototype, so that the instance of array can access this myReduce, and see how beautifully array can access our myReduce method as its own method. Okay, and yeah, this is the implementation where we are just summing up the elements of array. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.